So, made it to the first campsite for the first day of the trip. I'm just north outside of Moab and just outside of Arches National Park at the Grandstaff Campgrounds, which, random note, if you're gonna come here, all but like 2 sites have some shade trees, but you want to get here early. Unfortunately, I didn't get here too early, but I also had to drive 7 hours to get here from Arizona. So, but that's okay. I came prepared. I got the pop-up. I got some other shade stuff I'm gonna put together. And if you come here in the summer, this is still cooler than Arizona right now. You're right on. Well, I don't know if you see it, but you're right on the water along the canyon. So, time to set up camp. So, since I'm camping in the desert, in preparation of not having shade, I bought this cool new Hasika shade tent pop-up. We're gonna test this out, see how all this works. So, this pop-up that I got, didn't come with instruction manuals, doesn't come with tie ropes, doesn't come with anything other than the poles and the tarp. And I've had to get creative keeping it up to get the pieces together. It's definitely not something you do by yourself. Just heads up, if you ever want to get a Hasika pop-up, you need 2 people. It makes it a lot easier, and they're definitely not making this user-friendly, just so you know. Okay, we are it's been just shy of an hour when I started trying to put this thing up. I've had to get creative to get things to stay, and it's a good thing I have rope and extra spikes, because I'm always overprepared and just paranoid. Overall, setting this thing up by yourself sucks 100%. Pretty sure that it won't fall over, and hey, I have some extra shade for my tent now, so cool. Cool. I rate this Hasika pop-up though at like a 1 star. I rate it 1 star. It really sucks. At least I know when I want to collapse it in a couple days. So, yeah. In order to make the Hasika sunshade work, I got creative, like I said in the video. I ended up tying 2 of the poles up to my actual pop-up. Had to use my camping chairs to hold up the other poles while I tied them down. When I bought this, it said that it came with stakes and ropes. It did not. And also, it made it seem like it was going to be an easy thing to put up by yourself, which it also isn't. I had to tie one piece to a fence by the campsite, and just, yeah. Anything I could to keep it holding up on its own. The poles just stand there. I don't know how you're supposed to get them to stand up by themselves. It doesn't make any sense. There's no instructions that come with it. Don't get one. I just recommend don't getting one. On the upside though, the material of the tarp is really good, hold up to the sun, and it did provide a good amount of shade, which was nice to put my tent under. So in that part it was awesome, but set up and even tearing it down at the end, I couldn't get it back in the bag by myself. It just didn't happen. Fun times. Good morning, people. We are in the Arches National Park today. And we're starting off the Devil's Playground. Where a better place to start in the morning, right? Devil's Playground. It's all the way at the end. I'm starting at the top, working my way back down. Trying to get back out of the park by the hottest time of the day. That was my logic anyway. So, let's go find some arches. too bad out here. It's the early morning, so I haven't even passed 80 yet, which is nice. Random facts. Arches National Park holds 2,000 natural sandstone arches. It's the highest density for natural landscape arches in one location in the world. And they're always changing. And as much as people would probably want to go climb this, you can't because they're still delicate. You can climb some places in the park, but arches are off limits. Anything less than 3 feet or more than 3 feet of a hole of an arch, off limits to climb because you could potentially break it. So, no climbing arches. No. But this place is spectacular. Beautiful, just beautiful. This is just the first one. We got more to go. So, made it to the Dark Angel. There's no wings, it's not really angel, but it's a really cool formation. And if you think about it, these formations are constantly changing. I mean, they don't stay the same. Who knows? In 50 or 100 years, the angel could fall over, and then it'll just be the fallen angel instead of the Dark Angel. Who knows? But worth it to see it now. It'll never be the same in the future, so who knows? Time to go back, see some more park. After finishing up my hike in the Devil's Garden, I then started headed back south to the park and stopped at Skyline Arch first to check that out.
So here at Arches, they really don't want you to go off the trail. They only get about 10 inches of rain yearly. That's it. So the vegetation here has a really hard time to grow. And you might not see it, but there could be little seeds underneath the soil. And the minute you step on it, you're killing it. There are footprints. That way. That's not a trail, guys. Don't be like them. Stay on the trail. I get it. You want a picture. I do too. A little bit further. Great view. Don't leave the trail. Help the vegetation. So, just finished up over at Broken Arch. Up next, we're gonna go to the Delicate Arch, which actually is the Landscape Arch. When I put the names on the maps, from my understanding, the Landscape and Delicate got switched on accident. So, we're going to what the map says, the Delicate Arch. We would hit Fiery Furnace, however, it's closed right now due to COVID. So, we'll just save that one for the next Arches trip, when I come back during the fall season, when it's a little less toasty. But with you out here, we'll hang around. Yeah, oh yeah, it's stellar, people, stellar.
Delicate Arch gives you an option to go all the way to the arch. It's about an extra 3-mile hike. It was 103 or so out at this point of my day, and so I did not want to go do the extra hike in the heat. But I went to the upper viewpoint, and after that, I went to the Sand Dune Arch, which you're seeing the entrance to the trail now. It is probably my favorite arch in the park that I have seen so far. There's only a few more that I haven't seen. This one's probably going to remain my favorite. I love the formation of it. It's hidden within sand fins, and it's awesome. Just, you guys gotta go check it out. Just go see it. And once I was done at there, I ended up going to the Double Arch and the Window Views arches, which is what you're seeing landscape-wise right now. Hope you enjoy.
So I'm out here at Balanced Rock in Arches National Park. What's kind of neat, because like I mentioned before, they're always changing. Always. They're never going to stay the same. Because of the salt beds and movement and erosion. There used to actually be more than one Balanced Rock. There's only one right now, because the other ones fell over. And who knows? Eventually this one will probably fall over. And then there'll be new Balanced Rock. They'll have to make a new one. There's actually one that looks like it's forming on the other side. So there's always one, apparently, right? I'll have to stand by.
Last but not least, we end with the gossips. The 3 statuesque towering formations that have been there for years. If only they could talk, they'd have so much to say after that long. So, this concludes our day at the Arches National Park. It's been a nice, long day. There's still more to see on a second trip. That'll probably be when it's cooler because it's 101 outside. And I'm ready to go back to camp and go play in the cold water. So, catch you guys later. Or I'll catch you after the creek.
So, came down to the creek. The creek runs along the Grandstaff Trail, which is across the road from the Grandstaff campgrounds. And I wish I'd pulled out the camera literally not even 20 seconds earlier, because the little baby deer just hopped across the creek and ran up that way. I don't know where Mama's at, but I hope the baby comes back. Really cute looking. Completely bounded, just cleared the creek, completely, one hop. Pretty impressive. Enjoying the creek life. It's nice and cold water. Cooling down a bit after the nice hot day. It's pretty nice looking. So, I figured for a wrap up of this adventure, for this video, that I'd show you guys my view from camp behind me. This is what I've been getting to look at for the last couple days while I've been here. While I'm at the campsite anyway. Speaking of the campsite, Grandstaff campsite. This place must be popular because there's hasn't been a single time where the campsites stay empty for very long. People were coming through at 10:30 at night still looking for sites. It's a popular one. Probably because of the water. Also, if you go right across the road to Grandstaff hiking trail, I didn't do the whole thing, but that's where that creek was. And it's gorgeous. The site, there's about 15 to 16 campsites. All but 2 have trees and shade. I came in the afternoon, so I got shafted. But you guys already saw that part of the video. In my awesome endeavor of setting up my sunshade. Oh, but the sights here are beautiful. You can go right down to the water. You can go right across to some more water. And you're just in the canyon. I want to come back, because apparently if you keep hiking up the Grandstaff Canyon, it goes to a natural bridge that you just follow the creek to. So I'll have to do that next trip. So the drive up here. Driving to the reservation was beautiful, going up north. And then little towns in Utah. So the first one was Bluff. Bluff is a tiny town, but it's just encircled with cliffs. And it's got some neat history. They've got an old historical fort, so going there is something I want to do, to check out, see some more history stuff. And then there's the town of Monticello. Small, quaint, nice looking town. Just north of it, there's lakes and forests and more camping area. So I'll have to go back to check out that area. The drive as a whole has a lot of views to see, just the whole way. Never-ending views. There are small parts where it's open desert, but they don't last very long. As a whole, this whole Arches in Moab, well, semi-Moab, the town of Moab. Oh, I gotta come back just to go hang out in the town of Moab. It's very chill looking, and it's a lot bigger than I thought it would be. And it's got a very semi reminds me of Tucson chill kind of vibe. I'm gonna have to come back just to hang out and chill out in town, just to see the shops and the culture. Driving through it was pretty awesome. I gotta come back. Would I come back in the summer? No. It got to 102 today. At night, it gets down to 70. It's supposed to get down to 65, but I didn't get lucky enough. Go figure. If I come back, I'm gonna do it in the fall, when it's cooler. I definitely have to come back to see more of Arches. I didn't see absolutely everything in the park, but again, it was a toasty day. You really do need 2 days to get through the National Park of Arches. Just saying. If you want to come see it and fully see everything, you need 2 days. So that's another one to come back and finish for myself. Where I'm at, though, camping-wise, is in a canyon just to the east of the Arches. And even if you aren't camping over here, I recommend driving through it, especially in the morning during the sunrise. Ooh, the way the light hits the cliff and the water. I'll post pictures, don't worry. I got a few that are really good. So, out here has been pretty good. It's very peaceful. And I can only imagine it's even nicer during the fall. So, this will wrap up and conclude our Outskirts of Moab Arches National Park episode for Adventurous. Up next, we go to the Tetons. Catch you guys then.
Last night, all of a sudden, while I was like eating dinner, there was giant lights on the cliff edges. And I was curious if they were looking for something or if this was on purpose. Well, it's night 2, and they're doing it again. I kind of think maybe it's like an evening tour of the canyon type deal. Maybe? I have no idea though, but it's really neat. It was a little slow, obviously.